Hey, everybody. It's your boy, Eduardo Jackson, CEO, founder, creator of the Cinema Draft game, back once again with a weekend review and a talent pool preview with the one, the only, it's Jay Devlin. Say hello to the people,
What
Jay.
up? What's up, brother? And
Yeah.
another week in the books. Wonder Woman still number one in the box office.
Yes,
Michael
yes.
Vellante took down the side bet from everybody this week, so congrats to Mike.
Shout out group
Um,
chat.
he said on the group chat that it all comes out in the wash or it all evens out. I'm not sure about that because I've been doing nothing but PayPaling people for well over a month now. So,
God sign you should stop gambling? No, just kidding. Never that, never that.
Ed,
But no, it's
you
great.
know the mantra, Ed. The next best thing to gambling and winning is gambling and losing.
Actually, it's the first time I heard that, but you learn something every day. Well, let's jump into it though, because you did mention Wonder Woman. You had some some pretty fire takes on your own podcast, the Mostly Sports Podcast, which does air live 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Pacific time on Mondays. And I did want to kind of jump in and say something, but you lead us into it. Lead us into these dangerous waters. I definitely want to
I
talk about
just
these
don't.
films.
I don't think they're terribly dangerous. I think these are just. It's a Marvel or it's a DC movie about like a superhero. I don't think it should be anything that like helps social inequality or social justice. The movie was fine. She was really good. She's incredibly
She's
hot.
great.
I
Yes.
I believed her with all the action scenes. Like she looked the part. She fit the part. I just personally thought the movie was a little lazy. Like you have the all-knowing spoiler alert out there for people who haven't seen it. Like she rounds up her posse of people, and it's like an all-knowing Indian guy who's really good at directions and says wise words. Like I get it, dude. Indians like know their way around. I don't know. It's just like a stereotype that we've seen 400 times. A really charming Persian guy from like the Near East, who doesn't quite fit in. I don't know. I just thought it was pretty lazy with all the stereotypes. Old white guys are bad and they hate women, and you know, it was fine. It was a fine movie, but I think that for all the people out there championing this movie is like some like women's power and women's lib thing. It's like, come on, you can choose something better than fucking Wonder Woman.
Okay, now, in respect, it's not,
Yeah.
or in retrospect, quite honestly, it's not even so much like it's a big woman. I mean, I think you're interpreting it a little bit wrong. First of all,
Okay.
Wonder Woman's a beloved character in comic book lore. Everyone, I mean, most guys
Love
have been
Wonder
waiting
Woman.
for. Yeah, I've been waiting for Wonder Woman. I grew up on the Linda Carter Woman. Can't
Hmm.
couldn't wait for this movie for obvious reasons. The thing about this movie that really struck a chord, in addition to the fact that it's Wonder Woman, it's a strong woman, all this other stuff, is that it was done right. Zack Snyder had very little to do with it, the Godfather of the DC universe, but also that it's not too often, and that you see films that are most largely female led from behind the screen, and on front of the screen, and done in a good way, showing straight. The opening scene, or the opening sequence we see back in the flashback is of these women just kind of battling, training for war, looking super dope and strong. And a lot of times, women are kind of relegated to be side pieces in these damn superhero movies. So that is more like a release of pent up demand from the marketplace. Like, okay, finally we have someone we can actually kind of cheer for, who's not just there to satisfy
Who
the
doesn't
whims of
want
the
to
male.
cheer? Who doesn't want to?
It passed
Who
the Bechdel
doesn't?
test. It passed
But
the
who?
Bechdel test.
Who doesn't want to cheer for women? That's the point. Like, I don't know anybody that's like, oh man, I can't believe they made a woman.
Are you serious? Did you see?
I
Did you see
don't
the
know
backlash?
any.
Did you see the backlash to the last two Star Wars movies?
I don't
All of
know
them were
any.
like, no, seriously, like the fanboys
Really?
living on Reddit. Yeah, you don't have to go to Reddit per se, but just kind of Google, any of the recent Star Wars movies
Well,
and Ray or
Ed,
whatever the other one's named. I mean, sexism is alive and well on all
oh,
corners of the internet. It just
stop it.
is. It is.
I
It
don't,
absolutely is.
Ed. If you're telling me you're going to the internet to find opinions, I can go on the internet, Ed, and find opinions that like aliens live among us. People are ridiculous on the internet.
People are
It,
ridiculous.
I have a very large cross section of friends.
Oh my goodness.
I also live in like the most liberal place in the world, Hollywood
True.
and Santa Monica, California. I don't know. I mean, people are just. I don't know anybody who's outraged about like the fact that a woman is starring in a movie. It just doesn't even. It's 2017,
No,
and
I agree with
you're
you. And
you're your argument that like I agree there's sexism out there, but it happens in the workplace. It doesn't happen in like the land of like movies. Hollywood is the most liberal place in the world. They're making
Oh,
movies.
that's
They're
okay.
making movies for
That's
all
just flat out
kinds of
wrong.
people.
they
You're
they
telling me
are.
Hollywood isn't liberal? Is that what you're telling me?
No.
Hollywood's not
I'm
liberal.
saying no. I mean, sometimes, and we all saw Get Out. Sometimes some of the worst sexists or racists or whatever could be the so-called liberals. That's all I'm saying. And an example I brought up in the group chat, and that was just one example of many. I mean, having been a working writer in Hollywood, I sat in on some of these meetings where it's people way too comfortable with their position, just kind of casually being any kind of ist you want, sexist, racist, homophobic, whatever.
Yeah, but
And no, see, these are the gatekeepers who help create the art that we see. And so, yes, it's slowly changing. But all I'm saying is that you're going to get more dynamic, diverse, interesting stuff like your Wonder Womans, like your Shondaland TV runs, like all that stuff. Once we have more diverse gatekeepers breaking up the old boys club, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, we can disagree. We can agree to disagree on this. Okay, I don't necessarily agree with you. I can go on Netflix right now and find any kind of movie that I want to find. If I want to find a movie about Indian people, transsexual people, black people, white people, Chinese people, like there's movies made about everybody. My only point was this: the only thing these people give a shit about is money. And if you make a good movie, it doesn't matter who's starring in it. The head of a movie studio will make a movie as long as it makes money. So,
I agree, but sometimes they need to widen their vision of what can make a good movie or make money. They used to say, I mean, they still say a lot of times that black films don't translate overseas. Yet Will Smith is one of the biggest stars in the world. I mean, there's a lot of bullshit, like either not only stereotypes but also tradition, quote unquote, that a lot of these studio executives still kind of cling to. And I'm saying from firsthand experience, I have seen.
But stereotypes are perpetuated by everybody. Everybody's guilty.
But not everybody has the power to put out what we see and consume as entertainment.
Well, I'm watching the show that Jamie Foxx hosts the other night, that Beat Shazam show. This is a movie podcast. We're not going to turn this in like some.
No, we're not.
But I will say this: like the Beach. First off, how much money is he stealing to host that show? No way, Jamie Foxx is
money ever. Yes,
but it's 3 teams of 2 people, and it was 2 teams were 2 white guys, and there was 1 team of 2 young black ladies, and everybody was fun. But Jamie Foxx kept making fun of the 2 black girls because they kept missing all the quote unquote black songs and getting all the white songs right. So like everybody's guilty of perpetuating stereotypes. I mean, he was accusing them of being from the suburbs. I mean, is that right? That's probably not helping the cause that you're talking about as far as getting rid of stereotypes.
But once again, small sample size, and also I'm pretty sure he's not the executive producer of that show. He's a producer, most likely. He's not the one. He's not the studio executive who put the show on. All I'm saying is that we need better gatekeepers. We need better gatekeepers.
Okay,
that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's right. I mean, he's probably wrong. I didn't see the show in that company.
Well, I'm telling you what it is. You and I. We did the podcast about the most talented people in Hollywood, and I think my first pick was Jamie Foxx. I'm a huge Jamie Foxx fan. I actually found the things he was saying to those girls kind of funny. And so did they. And it was just like they missed a Mary J. Blige song, and all the people in the audience booed them. And it was funny. But, like, it just goes to that point. Like, maybe people are a little too sensitive. People are joking. And stereotypes are funny, dude. They are.
Well, I mean, stereotypes are stereotypes because they're often based in truth. So, I mean, I don't disagree with that. All I'm saying is that I appreciate that you live in the world you want to see. I, unfortunately, have to live in the world that we're in now, but while still trying to make changes to be in the world that we want to see. That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough. My point at the end of the day was just I thought Wonder Woman was like an average movie. And for it to be like a linchpin and like the cornerstone of some kind of like women's power movement, that just says something not great for the women's movement if you're going to hang your hat on Wonder Woman.
No, what it says not great is that we put out so few, fully focused female films that people are going to hang their hat on this.
I just didn't think it was a good movie. I didn't care if a man or a woman.
I thought it was good. I didn't think it was great though. That whole, I mean, now let's agree on this. That whole love story felt a little tacked on. Their repartee, the kind of like she's naive, he's worldly, but she's got like this inner purity, whatever, was really good. The second you make that like romantic or sexual, I was like, do we have to go there?
I mean, she went from 0 to 30 real quick. Like, man, she went from never even seeing a dude to like throwing down with him. Again, spoiler alert.
That felt like the fourth
pretty
writer's
quick.
rewrite. Like I'm gonna go in here, get paid, you know, 200 grand to fix like 4 scenes and shoehorn a love story in there. That's what that felt like.
Here's my last Wonder Woman question for you. All right.
Okay.
If this one of the themes, again, apologies, spoiler alert, is that only a god can kill another god, was what they said many times.
Uh-huh.
Why did Robin Wright Penn, aka
Okay.
Claire Underwood,
Yes.
have to take a bullet for Wonder Woman if she can't be killed by a mortal man?
But isn't she like half god, half, you know, human? I mean, she was born of the that one god plus her mother. So Hippolyta, whatever. Like I think she can get hurt, right? Like she has to heal super quick.
Well, I'll say this: those ladies were all smoke shows, and I would be more than happy. I would be more than happy to serve in that army. All right. Long live the Amazons, brother.
More water, please. Yeah, and you know what? And actually, speaking of Claire Underwood having finished House of Cards season 5, it was great to see her. I mean, you know, it's totally badassing it. You know, right to bear arms, you know, Michelle Obama style, just handling her business. You know, 3 arrows at a time. I mean, it was really that was really fun. I enjoyed that.
She was great. The movie was too fucking long though. 2 hours 21 minutes. All right,
it was too long. I totally
people have lives to live. All right, we got places to go.
And speaking of, let's dive right into the feature presentation, as well as our co-call sheets of the week. Michael Vellante and Gamble 24/7. Congratulations to both of you guys. And their strategy proved to be the winning one. It was a come from behind victory, seeing how we had once again hand scoring, but also some late reporting movies to the system. And it basically came down to it comes at night. It comes at night. Wide release. It did okay, about I guess just under 6 million in wide release. I actually was hoping or thinking it was going to be more of a limited release. It was at 25.33, and that proved to be the difference, as they both did a 6-pack that comes at night, sandwiched around a headliner stack of Wonder Woman, and kind of, you know, punting a bit with everything, and The Boss Baby for the respective limited and platform release call sheets. What do you think about a call sheet strategy like this, Jay Devlin?
I think most of the people at the top had the same strategy with the 6-pack of It Comes at Night. It underperformed a little bit. I think we all were looking for like 10 million.
Sure.
So it just kind of felt like it was a 2-movie week, to be honest, because you could stack Wonder Woman, you're going to 6-pack It Comes at Night, and then who's going to pick 2 movies better than everybody else?
Right.
And, you know, I didn't choose very well. You didn't choose very well, but Michael and Gamble 24/7 did. So they take the prize.
And big shouts to Gamble 24/7, our all-time money leader, crossed the $1,300 mark
Jeez.
in a free game. That's rent, damn it. I mean, may not in LA, but Vegas, that's rent.
Bro, I was just gonna say, you're paying people's rent, man. You're making dreams come true. That's very, very impressive. This game is awesome. You do a great job. You got to hand score this shit like half the time. You're grinding it out. So, like, we're all very thankful for you know, all the work you put in, because, you know, we all love the game. The game's getting bigger. Like you said, the group chat is blowing up all the time now.
Yeah, so much great analysis. So much analysis in the group chat. Y'all have to check it out. It really is something to behold. I mean, we have a guy who works in a movie theater. We have a guy who used to work in movie theater administration. I mean, we're getting the inside dope in these group chats. I mean, if you really want to succeed, if you want to excel, because sometimes we hear grumbling occasionally, oh, it's hard to win, or the same people win all the time. It's because we're in the group chat. We're openly trading strategies. You know, no collusion going on. Just totally just sharing information, figuring out what's going to hit, and then we go off into our little corners and figure out our own strategy. But it really is informative. It's definitely influenced my strategy since it's popped off. So yes, check out the group chat. It's in most of our newsletters, if not on our Facebook page proper, and we tweet out or put on Facebook, you know, a couple times a week, some links to the group chat. Definitely check it out. Marcus Graham's secret to his salmon, aka Cinema Draft. Definitely strong, you girl. You girl. Absolutely. So let's take a look at your call sheet, J. Devlin. Let me read this. So let's see what happened, because I think you beat me this week, didn't you? Yes, you did.
I don't even deserve a participation medal. I mean, I guess I finished 6th, which was in the money.
Well, we got you on the podcast. Might as well hear your strategy.
I mean, like I said, my strategy was pretty simple. I mean, 2 Wonder Woman, 6 It Comes at Nights, and then, you know, do my best as far as picking.
Margins, yeah.
you
And
know,
actually, Snatch at runtime was limited, so we're projecting it's going to be platform this week. And
okay.
yeah, and actually, I remember I think I did go over your call sheet on the preview, and my only grouse was Three Idiotas. I just figured it kind of run out of gas.
Yeah, it did.
Even
Totally
at
ran
top
out of
four.
gas. I
Yeah.
didn't love that call. I wasn't real like I didn't really enjoy my two movies I picked. Like other than the two, I wasn't feeling very confident. So, and
And
for that,
that's
I
the
got sixth
game.
place.
Yeah, sixth place, $5, I
Yeah,
believe, or
yeah,
maybe 8.75. And that's the thing about this game is that because there's so many sharp players out there, I mean, it's going to be a matter of points, or in some weeks, fractions of points is going to separate you from the next spot or the top spot.
yeah.
I'm stripped.
The
Go
weeks of like kind of backdooring a first, second, or third are over. Like
ahead.
you need to like be on your game every week if you want to crack the top three with these group of like assassins. So
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, the group chat really has actually since the advent of the group chat. I think the scores have been getting sharper. The the divisions a little bit, less wide. So yeah, definitely, love seeing the evolution of strategy in this game. My call sheet it comes in night 6-pack and the Wonder Woman headliner stack. And my differentiation was Diary of a Wimpy Kid: The Long Haul. Bad, but it was cheap. And then also Churchill, which I guess I thought it was going to do better than it did. It actually shed some screens. It's only on 187 screens last weekend, and it just did what it did. I guess not enough people in America or North America share my love of historical fiction.
yeah, I was kind of eyeballing that too. Probably would have gone Churchill if I didn't do what I did. So I was screwed either way.
Fair enough. Now let's take a look at Ring Balls in third place, real quick. Always a strong player. Off the schneid. Didn't cash last week. Back in black this week. And he had the similar construction, the 8-pack that's come before, with his differentiation being Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Long Haul and Limited Release, and Alec Baldwin from Paris Can Wait. And actually, Paris Can Wait did really well. It was Diary, man. Diary sold us out. Wonder what we could have gotten for 6,600 that could have done better than Diary limited release. I don't know.
That Diary just dropped so many screens.
Yeah.
That I couldn't see myself taking. I'm actually kind of shocked Nick took it because what did it lose? It lost like 1,100 screens last week. It lost.
Yeah, it's like 1,500. It's on 1,500 screens, I think. It took a dip.
It took a big dip. I mean, anybody out there, if like maybe it's your first time, like listening to the podcast or even playing, you're on the group chat. Box Office Mojo has the best tools to see like how many screens the movie's on, to see how it's done the week before if it's not a new release, and
absolutely
it gives you comparative movies if you click on the movie to see how movies that are like it did. So just like mess around with Box Office Mojo. There's a lot of really, really good stuff on there.
And that's a really crucial point, Jay Devlin, because you, better than anyone else I know how to research some damn stats. And you were showing me some stuff last time you were on the podcast about how to make Box Office Mojo more effective. And I've been doing this thing for like 3 years essentially. You jump on here and dipping around and figuring out like comparative genres, and just you really do take the best advantage of Box Office Mojo than anyone I know. So really key point.
Hey man, that's the key to a sixth place finish, man. You grind out that metadata to a sixth place finish, and you're good
there
to go.
You go. Well, and rounding out the top five, let's take a look at Bethy Vellante real quick, and she's quickly becoming one of my favorite players. You know what? Some might even say, if you're listening, Jay Bird, taking the Kelly spot. Taking the Kelly spot. Where's Kelly, damn it? Bring your wife back. She's my favorite player. She hasn't played in like a month.
Shots fired right there.
Damn straight. I miss Kelly. Bring her back. And mazel tov to your incoming bundle of joy. Okay, so yes, and basically same construction, except she did one less It Comes at Night, doubled down on a Paris Can Wait headliner stack, and then Snatched, which just did what it did. So actually Snatched got min value or min scoring this week. Yeah, it was at like 9. I mean, as a limited release, it did like 400,000. I mean, we had to round it up. It was pretty terrible. So she's only behind by a little over 3 points. So she's right there in the middle of the pack. I guess the husband still is in the lead for now, but let's keep an eye out on Bethy Vellante coming for that top spot. And her learning curve is really accelerated over the last 3 weeks. I'm definitely looking forward to her call sheets. This one is Jay Bird to round out our top 5, and he also had Wonder Woman headliner stack, It Comes at Night 6-pack, Three Idiotas, and Diary of a Wimpy Kid: The Long Haul. Interesting. So almost kind of like your call sheet, but a little bit different with, I guess, was it Wimpy Kid
With the
or
Wimpy Kid, yeah,
yeah,
that was the
yeah,
big difference.
and then he was in fifth place. I think he just edged you out by like a fraction of a point.
Yeah,
So it
because
was.
I got min points on Snatch, and he got
Mm.
1.85 on the Diary of a Wimpy Kid. So
Damn, that's all it takes. 0.5 point
yeah.
difference. Actually, 0.45 point difference is all it takes from fifth to sixth. So yeah, so keep getting those really tough, tight scores, everybody. It's going to be a dogfight to get to the top of the pack each week. And speaking of, let's take a look at next week's slate of movies. We've got 5 newcomers. The Book of Henry, which once again, another example of a movie opening a little too wide, but it's got Nicole Kidman, so they're going to go on 575 screens. It really feels like a platform movie, but whatever. All Eyes on Me, Tupac. Can't wait for that shit.
Stop.
Yo, are you
Stop it. That
serious?
movie does
Yes.
not look good. Tupac, full disclosure, is my favorite rapper of all time. I love
Okay.
Tupac. I'm a Tupac guy. The guy looks just like Tupac. That
Yes, it
movie
does.
looks freaking terrible. It looks
What?
terrible. It
What?
says Straight Outta Compton was fire. It was
Yep.
so fucking awesome. And
But in the trailers for Straight Outta Compton, I mean, even you had to be like, I don't know how this is going to play, if it's going to be good or not. So I mean, I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt because I am a Tupac fan as well, and I don't know, it's got too much faith in some of the filmmakers. I think a friend of mine did some consulting or writing work on the film, so I'm excited. I can't wait.
to what's next? Like a Cool Mo D movie, and then they're gonna do like
They're doing everything.
like
There's a Bad Boy movie.
a Big Daddy Kane movie. Then we can do a Beastie Boys movie. No, Straight Outta Compton, NWA planted the flag first. They got there first. They killed it. Everybody after them is a poser and just trying to ride their coattails. Rant over.
Full disclosure, I did read a script. I don't know if it was a production script. I did read like a fairly advanced script for Straight Outta Compton, and the script was great. Like it took me back. I read it in the evening. I'm like, oh wow, this is fun. I had no idea it was going to do what it did. Like I thought it'd do like 45, 50 million, be seen by niche audiences. But I'm very very excited it did what it did. But also with the spoils come so the downside. The downside to making a movie like that did so much business is that you're gonna get all these knockoffs. I hear a Bad Boy movie's on the works. I hear actually this one I can't wait. This one I can't wait for. Actually, Bad Boy would be interesting because they had so much drama. But this one I really can't wait for is I read this on Deadline this morning. They're developing a movie for Luther Campbell, Dr. Luke. It's rated X. That thing's gonna be incredible.
Yeah, it's called The U. It was a 30 for 30. I mean, you can see what I love Luther Campbell. But let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Again, I love Tupac. I love Bad Boy. I was always I'm a big Mace guy. I love Mace.
Oh man, Mace is great.
That being said, none of those people had even like a tenth of the cultural impact that NWA did, which is why the NWA movie resonated with people so well, because we all remember it was like a JFK 9/11 moment when Straight Outta Compton came out. And you're sitting there on, like, I was up in my room with the door shut, the lights off, my foamy Sony Walkman headphones over my ears, listening to Fuck the Police and like hoping my mom didn't walk in and scream at me. And like that music like changed like rap music for me.
Well, so here's the thing about Tupac, and this I mean you may not realize, but he actually was. I won't say it wasn't as transformational, possibly as NWA per se, because they were the ones who originally did it. But his story is compelling as hell, because his mother's a Black Panther, totally raised in a strong Black tradition. The guy was it was an actor, like a legit actor. Went to like I think Baltimore School of Performing Arts or something. He's
Birdie from Above the Rim. He killed it.
Yeah, no, he's got levels to him, and I'll never forget.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'll never forget this. He spoke because I must have been in like high school or just out of high school. I was really involved in NAACP when I was growing up. Their AXO program, which is like the Academic Olympics for the arts and sciences. And I'll never forget watching a video of him speaking extemporaneously about how the old civil rights tradition is kind of dead and how we need to revive it. He's like people are marching for marches that we marched on. This is bullshit. We need to. He was bringing straight fire off top of his head. Like he was really about that life, which is why I think it's gonna be a really compelling movie to see him war with those sides of himself, the really trifling, I get around type side to him, and
Digital Underground, starting with Digital Underground,
exactly, with his more kind of revolutionary, raised by a Black Panther mother, side, and seeing those two wars. I think it's gonna be compelling. So I can't wait.
again, I'm a huge Tupac fan.
You're gonna
Like,
see it, aren't you? Though you're gonna see it.
immensely talented guy across the board. He wasn't just
Mhm.
a rapper. I mean, as you said, the guy could do no wrong. We were robbed of like 30, 40 years of this guy's genius,
Man.
because he got assassinated. But like, you know, I don't know. The movie looks okay. I'll probably wait for it to come on HBO though. If it
All
really
right.
does.
Well, I mean, I'm debating whether it's going to be the official Cinema Draft post-lock movie, but it's going to be seen that weekend. It's got to go down. I'm very excited about the movie. Rough Night is also an interesting movie. I'm looking forward to the one with with the bachelorette party that kind of swerves
Yeah.
into manslaughter. I guess that would be the term.
Uh-huh.
Looking forward to that one. ScarJo, and actually, ScarJo is really not even the draw for me on that movie because I love Broad City. I love Ilana Glazer. She's hysterical. Jillian Bell's great. And then Kate McKinnon. She's Bay and doesn't even know it yet. She is playing an Australian accent. I mean, that looks like it's gonna be fun. My girls' movie of the summer though is still Girls Trip, so I'm still waiting on that. But Rough Night might tide me over for the next month and a half. Cars 3, can't never bet against Pixar. Just don't do it. And then 47 Meters Down, which seems like a take on, what was that shark movie? The Shallow something, The Shallows from last year with Blake Lively. It looks kind of like that, so I'm definitely going to pass on that. But those are the 5 newcomers this weekend. Some interesting pricing this week. I'll go into it in depth when I record tonight, the hour-long pod. But you're looking at kind of bare minimum for 47 Meters Down. Some possibly decent value with All Eyes on Me, starting at 8,200, going to 88. Cars clocking in at 22,000 up to 23,000 for Owen Wilson as a headliner. ScarJo's 10,500 down to Paul W. Downs 9,300 in Rough Night, and The Book of Henry 5,700 up to Naomi Watts 6,500 as a headliner. Any of these kind of jump out at you this week, Jay Devlin?
I mean, Cars is going to be huge. All these Pixar movies. I can't think of another like kids movie that's out right now. So that I feel like I haven't looked at any estimates, but I would imagine that's going to be pretty huge.
Yeah, I've been seeing stuff saying like in the 60 range, which is actually about average for Pixar. So that sounds about right.
Yeah, like Rough Night will be good. It'll be good, like a good girls' night out. Like when Bridesmaids came out, you'd go to the theater and be like 4 or 5 girlfriends getting together, going out, having some Cosmos. So it's gonna be funny. I'm looking forward to Rough Night. Actually, I think that's probably the movie I'd like to see the most.
Oh, okay. Yeah, excellent. And had some pretty steep price drops. The Mummy's down under 17,000. Even Wonder Woman actually down to about 18,500. So still kind of pricey, but there might be some mix and matching situations here where you might want some exposure to Wonder Woman along with Cars. I mean, it'll be very interesting to see this. I think this week's going to be more wide open than normal because so many of these movies have breakout potential. I mean, Wonder Woman, you can kind of count on those first 2 weeks, but this week it's definitely playing second fiddle. Might even play third fiddle depending on if some of these movies take off. Cars is going to be far and away the number one, but how much Cars can you afford? How much Cars do you want? I think there are definitely some strategies that I haven't even started to think of yet where you could stack smaller films with potential with a combination of some bigger films.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of ways to go, which is they're always the fun weeks. Like, no offense to last week, but last week was kind of boring because we all had the eight of the same movies, and we just like picked 2. This week will be totally different. This week is going to be wide open, a lot of different ways to go, and it's going to be good. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be real interesting strategy week. And as usual, thanks for hanging with us, everybody. Thanks for supporting Cinema Draft and this podcast. Also, I'd like to be the first to show off our brand new WeFunder page. What is WeFunder? It is basically like Kickstarter, but for companies. So instead of buying a product, you can actually own a piece of the company. Come check us out at WeFunder.com/CinemaDraft. And for just $100 or more, you can own a piece of the company. We have really cool investor perks, including movie ticket passes, swag, and even if you give with both hands, hard enough, 50,000 level, we'll fly you out for dinner, damn it. So, yes, or I'll fly to you for dinner or something. I got to check the perks again. But, yeah, so a lot of good stuff you can get being an investor in Cinema Draft. Feel free to check it out and share it with your friends. And we'd love to see you guys, invest in the company. Our success will be your success. All right, so plug your ish, Jay Devlin. What you got?
Yeah, the usual, man. Mostly sports on iHeartRadio, UBN Radio every Monday, 12 to 2 Pacific Standard Time. You can catch us on Facebook Live, like us on Facebook Live. We have about 1,000 views every week just on Facebook Live during the show. The chat is straight fire. It's a live show. You can call in. You can
We're very
see me.
responsive to chat. Yeah, we're
You
very
can.
responsive to chat.
We definitely are very interactive with the people listening. You can see me in Gentleman's Fury, movie out on Vimeo on demand. Fantastic movie. Great tennis movie. Not a lot of great tennis movies out there. Really funny. A lot of talented people. Check it out. Gentleman's Fury, Vimeo on demand. And that's about it, man. At Vegas, TBT coming up. We're playing on ESPN July 15th. I'll be out there hanging with the CEO, Eduardo Jackson, playing some poker mid-July. Looking forward to that. That's everything, brother.
Absolutely. And I'm sorry, I just had to go put Gentleman's Fury up there for the people because, I mean, it takes balls to play.
Dude, it's actually really funny. We had Ben and Jake. Ben's the star, the guy in the middle, and the guy on his left is Jake.
Okay.
Really funny guys. The movie is actually really funny. And I told them on the show, if the movie sucked, I would have told them. Right. But it really was pretty good. So
takes balls to play. And also, I'm gonna call my shot too. Scavati called me out about Game of Thrones, and we are due for me to be back up on that show sometime. I don't care if I have to call in or next time I'm in LA, I'll come in studio. But I will truck no Game of Thrones slander up in this piece. All right, no Game of Thrones slander, damn it. And also, it'd probably be good for me to plug the WeFunder as well. But yes,
do you remember what he said? Do you remember what he said about Game of Thrones? He's on season 4. He goes, I get it. Joffrey's a dick. There's some dragons and winter is around the corner. What else is there?
God.
That was how he broke down Game of Thrones.
That is the worst. I'm actually so there's a show called Binge Mode. It's a podcast they're doing on The Ringer, and it is fucking fantastic. They're basically taking 10 episodes at a time, dumping, doing I wouldn't say play-by-play, but doing in-depth analysis of each episode. There's 60 episodes of Game of Thrones. They're doing 10, so for the next 6 weeks up until the season premiere, season 7, they're dumping 10 episodes, a full season's worth of binge mode analysis every Monday, and it is fantastic. But of course, it's not going to appeal to Scavati because he's not paying attention. He's probably day drinking while he's watching the shit. But this is for the diehards, and it is a treat. It is such a treat. And you get a lot of in-depth stuff that you totally missed because that whole mythology is so dense. And I mean, those books are 1,000 pages long. And so you kind of get the backstory where you need it to make everything make a little more sense. I loved it. I love binge mode. I love Game of Thrones. Second favorite show of all time.
Well, I'll leave that up to you and Scavati next time you come in studio, next time you're in LA. You guys can take that one.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Well, on that note, we are out of here, and y'all know what to do. Go see a movie or something.